I can't be angry. I've got this fried catfish plate in front of me with the Hush Puppies here at Classic City Eats. Let's have some sympathy and empathy for our sponsors and for the people who take care of the UGA football program, as does Classic City Eats. They fed the team yesterday.
How many plates do you think Jordan Davis had?
You know,
because I feel like he could have 3 and still be losing weight.
Coach, the thing that I've seen a lot of people say is, well, if practices, the first games move back to September 26th, why not just have more practices, more of these 20-hour weeks, more than the 29 practices that are allowed? Why not just go full bore because you miss spring?
The fact is, if we start on the 7th and then the students come and then we have to stop, then you're going to lose a lot. So I think the best thing to do is start right about the time the freshmen, all the people report to campus, and don't put the team in a hotel and everything like you'd have to do if you started on the 7th. And just try to be as normal as you can and establish some kind of normal daily routine of going to class, whether it's virtual or whatever it might be, and doing your strength and conditioning, all that. And then if you do have some positives, work along through that and see how it pans out.
If I hear one more, I'm not going to say those words, one more pundit who keeps trying to point out that, that the schools aren't concerned about the kids. The schools are, the athletes are only here to entertain us and we don't care about their health or their safety or something like that. I'm like, you obviously have not covered high school sports, college sports. You're obviously not in the sports industry. You don't know that these kids are, and I say kids, are grown-ass men, a few of them even have children of their own, to say that their health is not important. It drives me bonkers.
Football to me is so important, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that huge a deal when it comes to safety. These kids always try to coach these guys like they were my own family, and that's the way Kirby does too. So there's a lot of safety protocols to be involved with here, and I really get mad about some of these people saying that it's all about money and all that. Sure, there's some money involved, but I think safety's been the preeminent situation throughout this whole process.
Well, what did Coach say last week, though? He said, I expect a lot of flips in recruiting in the coming months. And then what happened yesterday?
Yesterday, Georgia gets back Jared Wilson, an offensive line recruit who is already committed to Georgia once. And Jake Roos isn't here today. He's in the bushes somewhere. Yeah, he's in the bushes. He's come up with his recruiting scoop. So Saturday morning, he goes on the vault at UGASports.com and says, hey, I'd keep an eye on Jared Wilson. And I'm like, what? The kid that's committed to North Carolina, the kid that decommitted from Georgia and flipped over there, who's I've heard no rumors that he's discontent or unhappy or anything like that. And Jake puts it out there, and years later, I still have this knee-jerk reaction where I'm like, that's just coming so completely out of the blue, Well, he did the same thing with JT Daniels. Like, yeah, JT Daniels is going to flip or is going to, transfer to Georgia. I'm like, there's garbage. How do you come up with this crazy stuff?
As usual, I could be wrong, but more than likely I'm right. I just had to say that once.
No,
I would say more than likely I'm probably 50%.
Would UGA be better off just dropping Georgia Tech game at a point in the future schedule? It offers no real benefit to UGA playing them anymore.
I guarantee Coach McGill would turn over in his grave if somebody said that you can't play Georgia Tech. I mean, come on. I don't have near the history of Georgia as some of the alums and some of the players and all, but you got to play that game. I mean, it's written in stone that you got to have that game.
So what does Georgia get out of it, though?
What do you get out of it? First of all, anytime you go into high school and you're recruiting against Tech, you talk about that. Hey, we get to play them every year, and it's nothing like, that locker room when you beat Tech. I know we lost a couple when I was here, and it still chaps me about it.
Hey, you saw Kirby loses his first year. I doubt he ever loses to him again. He will not have that. So
I've got friends who are Georgia fans that say that if Georgia loses to Tech, then Christmas is canceled that year. It's that serious.
Yeah, and people say that in like hyperbole. it's not all hyperbole. It's not all exaggeration.